Oh, but here's my next thing. Let's see,
We
like,
should get going.
yeah, because even when oh, this is something about some child shit. I was not paying attention. Um, yeah, I was about to say, I don't know. If I was to talk more shit about this, I would probably say this. Like, this team right here, I trashed it. Like, I literally trashed this entire team. Cause like I want Ganyu, but I want a better version of Ganyu. I don't want this Ganyu. I don't want a Ganyu that like actually kicks in a battle. Like this Ganyu deadass just sits here, and it's like the fact that she's just like king queen sniper. So like she deadass just sits in the back the entire fucking time, and it's just like the fact that she one sits in the back the entire fucking time actually kind of like makes her king queen sniper. But like other than that, it's just it's just like it's an annoying build, you know. It's just an annoying build because like my whole point was just the fact that like she shouldn't if she's gonna have this build, she shouldn't be all the way in the back. Like, all right, well, let me say it like this, right? I kind of look at terms and I start explaining things like people are playing House and King of the Castle. So like in House, she would be like the little sister, right? But she'd be like one of the oldest little sisters. Like she's up there in age, but she's like low key down there. It's like maybe out of like 10 sisters, she's like the fourth, maybe the fifth sister. But like because of like because there's also way more younger siblings than she has older siblings,
If you
she
lie
kind
on
of
the
just
grass,
like
you can feel the
relies in this
heartbeat of
like
the world.
shut the fuck up. She kind of just has like she lies in this like gray area where like hold on, you know, she lies in this gray area where like she just like it's like she's too pretty to be touched but not pretty enough to like want to actually like put so far in the back that you would put everything on the line to protect her. Like I don't think she's worth that much. Like her value to me isn't that high. So like, and then to me though, because of like who Ganyu is, like not like somewhat of her character, just in general, like her character in general, like I think you would have to kind of treat her like king or queen of the castle, and it just kind of bothers me because like she's too like just look like fuck these Genshin terms. Like she's too close to be like if she was a lot closer and she
It's so
did
nice
something,
to de-stress.
it would be like it would be like just a show of skill to be like, okay, but I can do this stuff. Yeah, but like just doing that in that moment specifically, like you've earned enough in your entire life and just your experience to pull something like that off in the moment. But just over like arching the fact that you even have that capacity to do that, and it just kind of shows that you may have better placement in some other capacity, but you just go over there to prove that you could do it and then go right back to your spot. It's just like detrimental to the team. So it's just
Should
like
we really be
you're
over
not
this
really
early?
like
There is still a
doing
lot
good.
left to
At least to
do.
me, especially. Like you're not really doing that good. Because like it's just like a great character, great girl, great capacity, but just in the wrong position. Like in the wrong position and in the wrong place. So at that point, you're actually just hurting your team way more than anything else. Especially with you giving them false hope that like you guys can actually succeed. Just with you and the team, it just makes everything 1,000 times harder. Uh, and we got Official. Official's whole character design just screams like, yo, like I'm really here to help. But like my whole issue though is the fact that like she doesn't even know how she's dressed. Like she's like you even like her voice on like she's the type to be like I'm the princess of this and then type forget. But like sometimes they're just like little character things, but they're really not. That's why I don't even like to say sometimes. But anyways, um, my thing is that like
I created another universe.
she should be a lot better than what she is. Uh, and the fact that like she's a DPSer, like I just it just bothers me. You know, I feel like Yeah, I feel like she should be running that like electro sword shit, or like maybe like she should be like an electro pole arm. But like my whole next thing is that not even that she has to be, but like why aren't all her elemental shots just? I mean, why aren't her shots like turning into elementals? You know what I mean? Like she really does have that build where she has to just be all field support, but she's not her herself isn't the all field
I
support.
created another
It's
universe.
the Ravenbird, and they're two completely different characters. Like the bird himself, I'm not gonna pull him out because fuck this girl. But like he's tough. But like he's the only thing about her build that is tough, and you actually need constellations for it. And my whole next thing is the only next viable option for Fischl to actually be like worthy to be put on a team is just like running physical DPS catching. Because other than that, like you definitely have to rely on elemental reactions, and even then, you still need a specific character. You need Xing Cho or Xing Chu. You need
May the
Xing Chu
glory
just
of
to
the
pretty much
princesses
just
bring
like
light to this world.
actually fuck around and make this character like decent. And then you also on top of that you need a shit ton of enemies because like you need electro charged. And even him, like he doesn't even like he's more so single target than multi target. Like you actually have to hit each character individually. And then I think they might have splash damage. Or not splash damage, but just like what status that will like apply and then cause the electro charge to like spread more often. Play on warriors with electro and spread. But um hold on. But yeah, just L character. L
I
character, bro.
created another universe.
L character. Um, so yeah, cause it's just down to everything she has. It's just like it should be so good, but it's just so it starts to look at it more, and it's just like it's not that good. Like her character design is not that
By
good to
royal
me.
decree.
I'm so sorry. I'm about to like switch the teams real quick just to kind of like get them off screen faster. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta like wash that off and then bathe in like I don't know. I would say sunlight, but yeah, gotta bathe in sunlight or something. I don't know. Something is like bathing in sunlight to me is like taking a dip in bleach. Um, but yeah, she's just I don't know L character, and she's like too much of a waste. I think she would be pretty cool if she was pretty cool, but I don't know. I just think the fact that like she just doesn't really provide much utility in a party. You know, like I think the fact that like you can just look at her build and find use for her as a solo character is crazy. But like you know, I even like it's just like putting her to me. She doesn't fit in. She doesn't. She fits well in so many teams that she doesn't really fit that well, because like she doesn't
I
really
do
push the
worry about
mantle.
the well-being of my
And
retinue
like
during
my
my
whole thing was
impromptu
just the fact that
absence.
like
I'm sure
there
the good
are
people
some.
of the adventure.
I'm about to say shut the fuck up. There are some people that to me like yeah, she doesn't have a good team where she really mainly fits in. You know, where it's just like official stands out and it's just like, oh, official's doing this. It really doesn't be like that. It's just the fact that like she just needs to cause elemental reactions, and then like she's a battery, so it's just like she's that type of character that you just use and abuse. Like that's just really what it is. Like you kind of use her, like you just use the shit out of her. Same thing with Goro. But like my whole issue is the fact that like they're unusable. They're unusable without hyper investments. Like you actually have to hyper invest into these characters, and they're 4 stars, and that makes it worse. Like I was about to say, like yo, to me, it's just like it blows me that Rosaria is even like the way that she is. But like that's why I said it. Like I was about to say, I have to like low key change the squad because like Rosaria is just a completely different bitch. This is the bitch that I
Cook
be
my
talking about.
seasonings.
So yeah, because she's free to play, but like she's a 4 star, and she's typically on banners that like you'll want to pull on. My only issue is the fact that like she makes the game so dumb easy that it's kind of trash and it's kind of boring. You
Nice
know,
and
like
spicy.
it's just like to me it's just like she's a piece of shit character. Cause like it's just yeah, she's just to me she's a piece of shit character, and she's like low key like, and she's a bear type too. Like uh, it's because like you can't excuse having her on the team, and you can't excuse not having her on the team. You know, until you see her interact with motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that like she steals so much shine but then gives none for real is kind of crazy to me. But like she does just by her being there, but she doesn't. It's to me, it's too well balanced of a fuck you kind of character. I just don't like him. It's just way too balanced of a fuck you kind of character. Um, because like to me, I think she'd have so much more potential too. Maybe if she was a catalyst user, but the fact that she's polearm to me just makes it weirder. Because like yeah, I'm about to say, if you're gonna make her build the way it is and you have it free to play, make it make sense. Why the fuck is she running a polearm for real? Like, cause yeah, I'm about to say like polearms are already deadly enough as is, and even if it's just like oh
I can't
polearms aren't
decide
that
whether
deadly,
pyroscience tastes better with.
yeah, I be trying to get these bitches shut up. Um, because like it'd just be like if she had a catalyst, if she ran a catalyst weapon instead, I would be like, okay, this makes more sense. Because it's like broken but nerfed. Because catalyst weapons aren't that good. Same thing with bows. But like the weapons themselves be like ultra stacked. So it's just like they just have like their nerfs. So it's just like it's just good for me to see that like these characters are really good, but they're not that good. You know, like they have their flaws and their fonts. But not everybody, not every character does. Not every character does. It's just these specific characters. And yeah, like and Goro, absolute trash ass nigga. Um, yeah, cause Goro's like he's only good if Arataki Ito is good. That's it. Literally, that's it. That's the only time that you get a Goro, and he's actually worth his merit. But other than that, like you and you still have to invest into Goro too. You can have him and he'll still buff your Arataki Ito. And even if you don't touch your Arataki Ito, he'll still buff it. But he's just dedicated. And he's dedicated to the wrong craft because you're a Geo character on top of that. So it's just like, yeah, Geo can just solo clear the game for the most part, but it's still just the fact that like you kind of have to turn around and look and just still just understand that he's a Geo character. So it's just like his options are already one pre-limited, and then on top of his options being pre-limited, there are just so many other better options. Because like my whole thing is like unless you're running like mono Geo teams, it's just like oh like what are you even doing here? Like, why are you actually a character in this game? Like, you were actually made to just genuinely be cannon fodder. And the fact that people ever even hyper invested into you is a genuine joke. It's a genuine joke. Like, it doesn't make too much sense to me on why someone would and would not. Um, I guess I had to check, make sure the recording was still going. I'm just saying her like, um, so yeah, on to the next team of bullshitters. Next team of bullshitters that I don't like that I have. Bullshitters that I don't like that I
Oh,
have. We have
is it time for me
Hutao.
to join you?
Um, then we have
Some in
Albedo.
the field research?
Uh, then we have
I'll scout
Eula.
ahead.
And then we have already covered Ganyu. Oh, and we have Kaching.
Something's come up?
So yeah, another group of just shitty ass characters to me, in my opinion. Hu Tao makes no sense to me because she's so good but so trash. When you have a character like this that genuinely, because like technically it's supposed to be like yeah she's on field DPS, but like my whole point is that like I don't, she's too good of a character to be so trash. And why is she a little kid? Like fuck man, this shit's annoying. And on top of that, I think her whole build, if he was like, okay, my thing is that Hu Tao herself is a really great character, right? Hu Tao herself is a really great character. My biggest issue though comes to the fact of how she interacts with the community. She's like too ahead of her time. Like, say we lived in an era where it was just like it was cool for grown ass men or just people in general because like it becomes really weird no matter who you are. If you like sit down and you find a girl like this attractive, it becomes really fucking weird. It doesn't matter who you are, gay, straight, old. It comes really, really weird because she's treacherous. She's dangerous as hell. This is a little girl that you actually technically should be playing with. But like everything is gonna be so weird because of how her build is set up. Like society is literally geared for everybody to touch her, but nobody to actually put hands on her. Because like you should actually want to be around characters like this because she's fun as shit. She's literally fun as shit, and you should want to physically play with her too because she's in that like size range Where it's just like some people be too big to play with, some people be too fat to play with, some people be too muscular to play with, and some people, even though they might be like type thin, like Albedo, you just know they're weird and squirmy and weird. Like if I touch you, like I don't think this is gonna go anywhere with my life. So it's just like it's just weird to even like have a character like this here, and for her to be OP. I feel like if you would have made this character and dropped her in the game, you should have made her dead ass like fucking Chi Chi. She should have, no, I'm so serious. She should have been like, cause like don't get me wrong, like I like Chi Chi, but like for her to actually be good to a point where I can actually accept her, like she would have to be built like Chi Chi, where it's just like okay, she's actually type trash as a character. So it's just like I can't even really want to run this character and like this character, but you know what? This is a pretty cool character to have. But like I still won't run the character because the character is now trash. But it's still just like knowing and acknowledging that like these shits are trash real life. Like what the fuck? Like because they be getting those grown ass niggas and it's just like yo like or just grown people in general because even like females like they can genuinely get caught up or it's just like oh well you like this, oh, she probably like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just gets people so caught up. And they get caught up in the right, wrong things. Because these are conversations people should have, but these are just things that everybody just shuns away. So it's just like, I don't really like the fact that she's a character, she's this good, and you actually really like keeping her on screen as long as you do. It's fucking disgusting. I can't fully accept this. It bothers me, right? I told you, right? It bothers me because no matter what you say or do, everything that she does in life, you're gonna want her around. You're just going to, no matter what. Because look at her. Like, what? There's nothing wrong with this character. It's low key shitting me. But, like, the more that I look at it and understand nothing's wrong, the more it makes me mad and makes me not like the character. Because now I start to see that the fact that there is nothing wrong with the character is what makes the character so fucking wrong to begin with. This is almost too perfect of a character. This is like a trap character. This is deadass like a trap Genshin Impact character. Like, and it's the fact that like people be like, run her C0. They will still go C6 just because it's her. Look at her. Like, it blows my shit. My whole thing is because it's her too. Most people won't even have to go C6. And I said that too. People will go C1 and be like, call it a day. Max, they'll go C4. Swear to you. Or like C2. Because honestly, I think after C2, like, you deadass don't even need to touch this shit no more. If you go past C2, you're a fiend. You're a deadass a fiend, and you admitted it to the world. I don't care what nobody says. Um, yeah. Moving on to the next. We got Albedo. Yeah, this man is just trash. Honestly, he's just trash. It's just straight bottom feeder shit to me. And I say that mainly because one, fuck his name, bro. Like, fuck his name. Why are you named Albedo? Like, I would kill you. I would dead ass kill you in life. But yeah, my next thing is just the fact that like one, fuck his entire character and everything he has standing for him. To me, he's just too like. To me, there's just nothing that he offers that like would make me want to put him on the team. Like he has the complete set to like be some shit in life, but I think it would only be if he was fresh out the wound, had none of his current character traits, and was like an apprentice to somebody worthy. I think that's the only way a character like this makes sense. But no, he's actually on his own and he's doing shit and he thinks like, yo, this is the way I should live life for real. No. No, 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 no. And the fact that he's all field DP, he's all field support, but like, okay, his cooldown, it's because it's a geo construct and geo constructs come and go. But supportive wise, like he has everything that you would want in an elemental, but he's geo. So, and then it's just like the only thing Geo procs is crystallize. So it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what am I staring at right now, bro? Like, and then on top of that, they don't even have like a whole bunch of shielded buffs. Like, oh, if you shield us, we'll do this. If you shield us, we'll do that. They don't have a lot of those. It's just be like straight buff your defense and then call it a day. And then on top of that, like, it takes a full 180 for the only Geo character that genuinely gives a shit and matters. Because, like, don't get me wrong, Arataki Ito, cool, but, like, deadass, I'm not going to call him a waste of a character, but, like, he's a really good character. Arataki Ito, he's a really good character. I think he just took too much of a hit, you know, just... I think he took too much of a hit being the character that he is, but he deadass pulls Geo out the goddamn dirt. Because, like, you can't even consider Zhongli a Geo character for real. But that's how ass Albedo is, though. It's just, like... Everybody knows like Albedo mains were just like low-key queefing in the very beginning. And then my whole thing is how is his ult buffing elemental mastery? But thank you. My whole thing is how is it buffing elemental mastery? Because then you have to run a specific set for it to low key make some sense, and even then, it's still not that good. It's literally still not that good because you need people that can low key spam their ults on cooldown just as much as he does. And you'd probably yeah, because like his buffs and everything, they don't last that long. So it's just like low key one shot clips that don't hit that hard. They just don't. It's just the fact that like he's doing shit. That's it. That ass. It's the fact that he's doing shit. And don't get me started on Eula. That ass waste of a body. Waste of a body. Waste of an entire character. And I don't like her haircut either. Weirdly and oddly enough, I don't like this bitch's haircut. I don't like her haircut.
You
I
want to
don't
learn
like
some felonious blade work?
literally I just like her. Remove her haircut
I'll
and then
teach
I'll
you.
like her from
Oh
like the
yes,
top down.
I'll
But
teach
like
you all right.
it was just the fact that like she's just weird, bro. Like there's like to me I feel like being built like this she should give up on like being a warrior. You know what I mean? Like she should dead ass just give up on that shit. I think she should have just turned around and just decided to become a prostitute in life, to be honest. But I'm not gonna say that. I am, but yeah, it's just like I don't know what's wrong with Hewlett, to be honest. Like I'm not gonna say I don't know what's wrong. I'm just saying like, I don't know what's wrong with her. You know what I mean? Like why would you decide to be a Claymore user? You know what I mean? Like, and then she's a cryo Claymore user at that. And my whole next point is that like, why wouldn't she be a cryo? Like, yeah, I would have said it too, because I would have been like, yo, like if they would have done Shatter differently, it would have helped. You know what I mean? Like if they would have given characters something like Frostbite when they're hit by like a claymore, or like even maybe even bring swords into it. It just does like some additional damage or something like that. Like it would have just made it better. They just don't have like my whole thing is like there's no reason they shouldn't have to be making gimmicks to make this character good. This character is just trash. Like this character is just genuinely trash. Like this character genuinely had so much potential, but she fucked it up. One because her ult literally it requires her to be main DPS. That's my biggest issue with her. She's dead ass required to be main DPS. Who told this bitch she was bad enough to be main DPS? If you don't sit your slut ass to the fucking side and just be a prostitute, I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm dead ass not gonna fuck with you because like there's no reason. You shouldn't even be out there opening your mouth. Nobody should be able to breathe your air unless it's straight just got in your mouth. God damn. Oh my god, the synchronicities is funny. This is what happens when I get mad, excited, hype, and like in the mood, in the mode. But yeah, like it's just the fact that like if you could have popped her ult and her ult like, all right, let's say it like this, right? If she had like a C, first off, if she was 4-star, this shit would make so much more sense. But she's a 5-star, so fuck that. That's number one. Bitch is a 5-star. But like, if she was gonna be a 5-star, make her like this, right? First off, no. First off, I think all 5 stars and 4 stars are fucking equal. So goddamn, just kill this game. People don't even understand. Kill your shit. Fuck you. But like, my next main point is just the fact that like, if she had constellations where it's just like, okay, her ult can nuke off field when she switches, but like it doesn't just immediately trigger. You could still build its stacks. Maybe you get like reduced time or something if you really wanted to be a dickhead and still leave her as a trash ass character. Cool, but if you want to actually buff her, then just like make it so that like you can still charge her ult off field, and then on top of that, give it some slight more time, or even make it a constellation where it's just like it stays on field until like what is the name? It stays on field until like it's fully charged and then it drops. And then don't let it disappear. Like don't let it go away. Cause like my whole next point isn't like even on top of that, to make it a little bit cheaper. Like 70 to me is OD. 60 I feel like is where it should have been at. But honestly, for all it's worth, just nerf the shit out of its damage and then fucking make that shit like 40. Cause like the whole thing was just like, oh, make her the nuke, make her a nuke, make her a nuke. But she's so slow, and that's why you have to buy her entire set. And she's still trash. Cause she's physical DPS. Literally, she's physical DPS. The only thing you could do for real is just steal her weapon. That's it. Just steal her weapon. That's the best advice that anybody could give you for you. Steal her goddamn weapon. And then fuck around and give it to a nigga like Razor. But just steal her weapon for real, for real. That's it. That's all you have to do. All you genuinely have to do is steal her weapon. Eula does not need, and Eula isn't needed. or let me just say Yule's character isn't needed, but the body of Yule is like absolutely amazing. I'm not saying I'm like, oh well, yes, her body is amazing, but like I think character design wise, like she's pretty good. Just change her hair and then that fucking cape, and then like you can like low key make it somewhere in life. If you like low key doubled down on the cape, and I don't know, maybe gave her like a ponytail or like some shit like that. Honestly, I would have said like this is low key a perfect character, low key, and then changed her actual thing and made her like cryo support for real. And then like if you really wanted to put like a claimer on her, so that like she was like cryo support where she was doing like off field cryo damage and consistent off field cryo damage, it would help. And my whole point was why not make cryo characters like that? Their
More
melt
space.
reaction is also already pretty trash, especially in comparison to vape. So it's just like, or even like reverse vape. So it's just like, why was this shit even like an issue? Like, who the hell thought that this was like that much of a problem? Like, just to even do and solve. Like, why would you drop a character like this? This shit is fucking annoying and trash. I don't give a fuck about the story. Just make her a goddamn NPC. Like, the fuck? Like, making her an actual playable goddamn character to me is fucking annoying. Because it's such a waste just to see a good ass character like this be fucking trash and
More
ungoddamn
speed.
usable. Like fuck that shit. Cause even then, I still say like, why can't like everybody get like high clear times, and it just comes down to like your play style. Why does everybody have to be fucking power creeping? My whole point is just like, oh well, they want to keep up, they want to do this, they want to do that. It's just like so, it's annoying. Add like game. I mean like, what's his name? Like gear and cosmetics and shit like that. But like it just gets to a point where it's just like some people want specific things from specific games, and I'll just look at them like these people are dumb. Just let you know, people are fucking dumb. Just to let you know, just to zone you in, people are dumb. Because even if you kept it like this, fine, fuck it. But like, why are the characters still that trash though? Why are they still that trash? It's just like they could be meant to be power cup. You could literally just make an entire new version of that character and then drop a fucking 6-star version. Like call it like a 6-star. Just be like, oh, like the five, like the 4 stars that were good. Like make a better fish, make
More
a better
speed.
official, and then drop it as a 6-star. Call it power crap. Call it power crap. Like these bitches were good here and they're
More speed.
good there, so use them there. And then even do shit where you like region restrict bitches. I don't give a fuck. Just do shit. Do shit. Like use the game and make the game fucking playable and enjoyable. Don't just keep sitting here and doing bullshit just because it's just like, oh well, I have this good story idea, but in order to get it out, I need money. But it's just like you
More
don't
speed.
realistically need money. You're just being a bitch. You're realistically, yeah, you're really just being a bitch ass nigga, yo. Like, cause these Chinese developers be thinking they low and slick, but it's just like, nah, they cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the characters, cause like they're literally just copy and pasting shit from life. But fuck this shit. I'm sorry. Look, you was just a trash ass character, and I hate her. Cause she had so much good and wasted potential. It just makes me sick. And then Kaching. Yeah, Kaching is trash. Kaching is trash. Kaching overvalues herself. That's Kaching's biggest issue. If Kaching knew her worth, I feel like she would be so much better as a character. But like Kaching is like that like forbidding princess. But like I just feel like that's why she should be what she is. Like I feel like she had such a great character design, to be honest. But like my whole issue would have been like, yeah, she could start off like that's what I said. Like if she was maybe a 4-star, I would genuinely run the shit out of this character. Oh my god, I would run the shit out of this character. Make her a 4-star, fucking please, man. I would dog the hell out of freaking Kaching. Make it as a 4-star. Oh my god, I would have killed that shit on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis. Cause look, Kaching genuinely doesn't have too much of like an issue. Even like character animation wise, fucking tough. And she runs a sword, so it's just like the only other thing I would have said was just like because Kaching's a 5-star and she's already garbage. I'd be like put a bow and arrow on her, give her bow and arrow, please, please. But like no, like shit, like real shit though. Like she doesn't have too much is wrong with her. Her head is fucking ginormous, but like there's literally just not too much is wrong with Kaching. Other than everything, because like it's like she doesn't know herself. Like like I said, like I think Kaching
Venturing into
overvalues
casual
herself.
business, you always have to seize the
I think Kaching just overvalues herself, you know? Cause like if she was to like do it, but then just acknowledge that she was like trash and shit, it would just be like okay, maybe a little bit better. But like everybody knows it, but it's just the fact that like she has viable sets. Like why is she still? Thank you. My whole point is why is she literally the sword version of Fischl? She's literally the better worse version of just how I was just describing Fischl. Cause like she's literally electro sword DPS, but she's like on field electro sword DPS. But my whole issue though is that you should have made her off field support because her ult popped so goddamn quick. Her ult literally pops quick as shit and it buffs the rest of the team. So like if you could continuously just keep popping her ult and make her off field support, she'd be really good. Really good. But my whole thing is that like
Incoming.
technically you could do this and then switch. But my whole point is that like it doesn't really trigger shit. You have to trigger that yourself. So it was just like why? Because my whole point was that like she would have turned into Yao Miko. And yeah, we already have Yao Miko, but Yao Miko wasn't here before her. Kaching was here first. So like they pretty much just used Yao Miko as just like, and my whole point is Yao Miko too. Like Yao Miko still blows my shit because Yao Miko's good. Don't get me wrong, but like there's nothing wrong with her character. I just want to complain because I don't have Yao Miko. I'm sorry. Hold on, wait. Because like you have no idea of like the way I feel about Yao Miko. Because I just don't have Yao Miko, so it's just like, ugh, I don't have Yao Miko. Like look at her. She's literally everything I wanted more. Kill myself. Kill myself. Um. Anyways, yeah, Kaching just like to me, I was like the only thing I would say to like genuinely make her character better would have just been like, give her a skill that like kind of like triggers off field. Um, doesn't have to do much damage. Even if it was physical, like give her a skill that literally triggers off screen. Literally, like just like a trust sword or some shit. Like I don't know something
Come on, enough
because
procrastinating.
like my whole next plan would have just been like even if she was to be on field, my point is the fact that like they took a gimmick that was actually supposed to be valid and then they made it trash because like she's electro. So like the only reason now it's like it's somewhat decent because we have Dendro, but like you still have to hyper invest into your chain. Dendro's already to me, please, I will talk my shit about Dendro. Dendro's a trash ass element, bro. Dendro is the trashiest element that I feel like they've ever introduced. I think Dendro was like the honest biggest mistake of like Genshin Impact. Because like it was just like everybody was so hyped because they were just like, oh, they pulled these characters out the grave with Dendro. And I was just like, why the hell would Dendro be pulling these characters out the grave? And then it's like it was just worse that like all it did was make trash characters not seem so trash anymore. So everybody knows as soon as you put Dendro on your team, everybody automatically gets a buff, no matter who or what you are. And then my whole point is Dendro kills you. Dendro literally drops bombs. His whole point is to deadass drop bombs and kill you. Deadass, that's all Dendro is. It's just to drop bombs and actually kill the characters. If the characters don't use the bombs that like the Dendro drops, the character dies. But my whole point is, regardless of whether or not the character uses it or not, the fact that Dendro was dropped in the game, it automatically just makes to me Genshin like trash as fuck. So like it's a really good game. I like the characters, but bottom of the barrel because it's just like a lot of fuck shit that's in it. Because like why the hell is Dendro even like an element? Why? And my whole point is like, you could have done so much more, but like you chose Dendro, and it's like you made Dendro like the base. So you pretty much power crept Hydro. That's all you realistically did. You power crept Hydro because Hydro was the main element reaction. Main elemental reaction was Hydro. Everybody knew that you had to have like a Hydro um, character on your team to make any elemental reaction actually worthwhile. Like all of them. Swirl doesn't fucking count, but Swirl does also too because of like resistance thread and stuff like that. Anyways, um, but like which is also to me, I don't even want to get into that right now. Um, but yeah, Dendro is just like the worst element in the game, bro. Worst element in the game. Just because it's like the best and it buffs the shit out of everybody, to me, it just makes it worse. Because it literally puts a handicap on everything else the game had to offer. So like it just turned it into full blown blitz mode. Like it just reminds me of the way that I used to play Pokemon as a kid. Like I just literally just went around training shit and then killing shit. It was just like it just took everything else that the game actually had to offer out the game. And all you actually had to do was sit down and take your time to read. So like what was really the main issue with like um with having like with making the elements better. Cause no, I was about to say that. I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, I'm sorry. I got an idea as soon as I heard that car beep outside. Um, what bothered me? You're welcome. What bothered me was the fact that they pretty much made Dendro what Geo probably should have been. You know, like it drops crystallized shards, but like the only thing it gives you is a shield. So like, why not just make it Dendro, but then also take out the fucking damage? Like I just feel like that would have just made like a little bit more sense. But my whole next point was just the fact that they'd be like, oh, they'd be like, it's Geo, so it doesn't make that much sense. What do you mean it doesn't make that much sense? You're first off, you're picking up crystal rocks and then turning them into magical shields. What sense does that fucking make? Where is your connection there? Because you'll just be like, oh, Geo shields and shit like that. But why can't you just be like Geo Earth? Everything fucking comes from it, so everything can fucking masturbate to it. Or I'm sorry, everything can like mix together with it. Like why wouldn't that have been the why wouldn't that have been the you know my thing always sounds so like I need to be clearing my sinus. I can tell I sound so snotty nosed and I hate it because I can hear myself and it's just like I sound snotty nosed as hell. But yeah, so it's just like I just don't I just don't like what they did with Dendro, and I just don't like how Kaching benefits from Dendro. Because Kaching shouldn't be able to benefit from Dendro. Dendro should genuinely be kicking Kaching's ass, but that's how she gets it though. That's my whole point with fight. I'm like, Kaching doesn't know her worth. Because if Kaching knew her worth, her trash ass would never be on a Dendro team. Like she should know to run in the opposite direction. That's how smart and intelligent I think Kaching truly is. But like how like Genshin genuinely hold her character and just like makes me like sit back and be like, I'm about to just call this shit a day, bro. Um, so it's just like, Eric, I just had an idea to just like actually go in and learn the characters too, and then like the story, and then talk a lot of shit about them, of like why I do and don't like, and what I do and what I don't, from why and who, and yes, because like yo, come on, it's Kaching, bro. Like what? It was just like she has so much potential, so much potential. I like just like my whole thing too is like I'm one of the weirdos, bro. I don't care, man. We're about to go on an entire adventure on this one because I am one of those weirdos. I'm not fucking going to Dragon Spine. So go like walk around and die. Fuck you. I'm not going to Dragon Spine. Definitely not going to Inazuma either. Might as well just say fuck it and skip around in Sumeru. Um, nah, not over there. Where is? I'm looking. I want to look for that refugee camp, but I think this might be it. But no, like my whole next point is that like I genuinely like running the characters together on teams, where like I can actually see like the characters themselves meshing in. Like I like to actually sit here and be like, yo, like imagine if like since this is my team, like imagine if all four of them were just out here walking around together. Like what would shit be like? And the fact that you have like Kaching in the front as like main DPS blows my shit. Or well, the fact that she's a main DPS type blows my shit. Because I feel like she would offer the most value as a support character. And that's my next thing too, is the fact that like they be making these characters based off of like, you know, their character traits and stuff like that. So sometimes it just turns around and comes down to me where I just look at it and just be like, so the character is just trash and shit to begin with. Because like if she has that supportive characteristics and like that's just kind of like her character, I would just look and just been like, okay, so wait, why is she like on the field all the time? Who is this? Hold on.